Hello children, good morning. Children, today we'll see the chapter 2, Swami and the Sum. Today I am going to teach you chapter 2, Swami and the Sum, written by R.K. Narayan. He is born 1906 and died 2001 and is best known for his stories act in the fictional town of 𝘊𝘏𝘈𝘗𝘔𝘈. He has written fictional town of 𝘊𝘏𝘈𝘗𝘕 in his writing career spanning 60 years. The Sahitya Academy in 1958 for the guide and was his first major award, and he was awarded the 𝘊𝘏𝘈𝘗𝘈 in 1964 and the 𝘊𝘏𝘈𝘗𝘈, India's second highest civilian honor, in 2001. So he is a very reputed and well-known writer, we can say him. So today let us see about a boy. He cannot make out the sum, and his father is very much particular about this, and he wanted to ask him some arithmetic question. Swaminathan has been enjoying his summer vacation by going out to play every afternoon. He used to go out to play every afternoon. One day his father catches him just as he is about to leave. So what happened? One day his father catches him. He was about to leave to play as usual, and he then orders Swami to bring his books into his room. He orders Swami to bring his books into his room. So now let us see. Half an hour later, Swaminathan sat in his father's room with a slate in his hand and a pencil ready. With a slate and a pencil ready, he sat beside his father in his room. Father held the arithmetic book open and dictated him. Something dictated him from that arithmetic book. That question is this: Rama has 10 mangoes with which he wants to earn 15 annas. With the 10 mangoes he wanted to earn 15 annas. Now Krishna wants only 4 mangoes. From out of 10 mangoes, Krishna wants only 4 mangoes. How much will Krishna have to pay? So this was the question that is given to Swami by his father. Swaminathan gazed and gazed. He thought and thought, and he looked to himself, and here and there he looked, and he gazed at this sum, and every time he read it, it seems to acquire a new meaning. When he looks this question, it seems to acquire a new meaning. He used to obtain new meaning, and he had the feelings of having stepped into a fearful maze. Step into a fearful maze. That we come to know that Swaminathan gazed and gazed at the sum, and every time he read it, and it seemed to acquire a new meaning. It seemed to obtain a new meaning. He had the feeling of having stepped into a fearful maze. Fearful maze means a complicated system of path where one can easily get lost. So that is called maze, meaning of maze. In a book it is given at last. So the next paragraph we'll see, his mouth began to water at the thought of mangoes. When he heard about mango, that his mouth began to water at the thought of mangoes, and he wondered what made Rama fix 15 annas for 10 mangoes. Why Rama fixed 15 annas for 10 mangoes? And what kind of a man was Rama? He is thinking about the Rama. Probably he was like a Shankar. Okay. Somehow one couldn't help feeling that he must have been like a Shankar with his 10 mangoes and his iron determination to get 15 annas. So he has decided to get the 15 annas for 10 mangoes. So that he is asking the questions himself. Here Swaminathan felt an unaccountable sympathy for Krishna. What is unaccountable sympathy for Krishna? Impossible to explain something that he felt unaccountable sympathy for Krishna. Now let us see. Have you done the sum? Father asked, looking over the newspaper he was reading. Then the boy answers, Father, will you tell me if the mangoes were ripe? He is asking the counter question to his father whether mangoes are ripened or not. Father regarded him for a while. He just thought of him and he gave the respect to him to his questions, and smothering a smile remarked. And then he said, do the sum first and I will tell you whether the fruits were ripe or not afterwards. So he is not answering whether the mango is ripe or not, but he is telling him to tell him the sum, and afterwards he wanted to give the answer. Swaminathan felt utterly helpless. He felt completely helpless. If only Father would tell him whether Rama was trying to sell ripe fruits or unripe ones, ripe fruits or unripe ones, that he wanted to know. Of what use would it be to tell him afterwards? Father told that he will tell him afterwards. Then what would be for that? So in that way, he felt strongly that the answer to these questions contained the key to the whole problem. It is containing to the key to the whole problem. It would be scandalous to expect 15 annas for 10 unripe mangoes. If it is unripe mangoes, it will be scandalous. Here, highly unfair and wrong. It is unfair and wrong to have that unscandalous thing that unripe mangoes to be paid 15 annas. That he is telling. But even if he did, it wouldn't be unlike Rama, so whom Swaminathan was readily beginning to hate. He was readily beginning to hate this matter. And Father, I cannot do this sum, Swaminathan said, and pushing away the slate. And he was pushing away the slate, and he told his father that he is not going to do this sum. Okay. Now, what is giving the answer? Let us see. Father, I cannot do the sum. I cannot do the sum. And he is pushing away the slate. He is pushing away the slate. Then, after that, what happens? Do the sum first. I will tell you whether the fruits were ripe or not. Afterwards, that he was completely helpless. That we saw. And after that, he was thinking that it is very much scandalous to hear. It is very much scandalous to hear. So in that way, he was thinking and asking, Father, I cannot do the sum. And Swaminathan said, pushing away the slate. He just pushed away the slate. So in that way, and what is the matter with you? And you can't solve a simple problem in simple proportion? Father is asking. We are not taught this kind of thing in our school. He gave the answer. So they are not taught this kind of things in the school. Okay, get the slate here. I will make you give the answer now. Now he is telling that, what is telling? Father is telling that, get the slate here. Get the slate here and I will make you give the answer now. Swaminathan waited with interest for the miracle to happen. Okay. And Swami that thought that it was impossible to solve the sum, and with the available information that he was thinking. Okay. In that way, he was waiting for that. And Swaminathan looked over the sum to find out and which part of the question contained the answer to this question. and afterwards he said that I don't know. Now he said about that that he doesn't know about this sum. So that was the question was given to him, and answer is given to that boy Swami to his father. And you seem to be extraordinary idiot. Father is scolding him. Extraordinary means exceptional idiot. Father is scolding to him. Okay, and now read this sum. You read this sum carefully and come on. How much does Rama expect for 10 mangoes? How much does Rama expect for 10 mangoes? 15 annas, of course, Swaminathan thought. He thought and said that 15 annas. But how could that be its price, its just price? How could be its just price? It was all very well for Rama to expect it in his avarice. What is the avarice means? In his greed. So for the 10 mangoes, he wanted 15 annas. So he is so greedy enough to fix the 10 mangoes to 15 annas. So now what he says that, but was it the right price? And then there was the obscure point. What is the obscure point means? This was a unclear issue for him. Unclear issue for him. And whether the mangoes were ripe or not. He is again and again asking whether mangoes are ripe or not. Okay, whether mangoes are ripe or not. If they were ripe, 15 annas might not be an improbable price. If mangoes are ripe, then the 15 annas are improbable price. Improbable price means what? It is not likely to happen or to be true. So if only he could get more light on this point. So he should get more light on this point. That is, he is asking. And how much does Rama want for his mangoes? How much does Rama want for his mangoes? 15 annas, replied Swaminathan without conviction. Without conviction means what? Here, in an uncertain way, he gave the answer to his father. When father asked him, how much does Rama want for his mangoes? 15 annas, replied Swaminathan without conviction. Then father said, very good. How many mangoes does Krishna want? 4. So what is the price for 4? Father seemed to delight in torturing him. How could he know? How could he know what that fool Krishna would pay? That would Krishna pay? So that he wanted to say. So what is the price for 4? Father seemed to delight and torturing him. He wanted to torture him. He wanted to put in trouble. So he wanted to ask the question, if 10 mangoes carries the 15 annas, then 4 mangoes, how much it be? So he was going on asking. And look here, boy, I have half a mind to thrust you. Okay, half a mind to thrust you, I have to hit you. And what have you in your head? 10 mangoes cost 15 annas. What is the price of 1? Come on. So his hand took Swaminathan's ear and gently twisted it. So children, I have prepared these 2 pages for you. And 2 pages and the first comprehension question answer I have made for you. You see, comprehension questions I have made for you, and that one you can see and you can write it in your copy, and that will be helpful for you. And next video you will get all the question answer and the finishing lessons. That another 1 page remains, that I will complete it for you. So you see the question answer. Now you can take the photocopy and try to write it in your copy. So this is the thing that it is made for you. So this is the first lessons of the 2nd chapter, Swamyan, and the sum that we have studied. Okay, thank you very much. Next video is coming tomorrow. You see, once again I am making for you to read, and especially the question answer that is made for you. You see, comprehension A number 1 to 6 questions that is made for you. You can take the photocopy and write on your copy. So this is the thing that is made for you. Okay.